What are the major factors that contributed to the rise of nationalism? That is, the political, administrative, and economic unification of the country. India was unified under British rule as one unit. The British introduced a uniform system of governance throughout the country. Laws, at least in theory, were uniformly applied to all. Economic life in India became interlinked after the introduction of modern industries. People from all parts of the country worked in these industries. Working and traveling together eroded feeling, caste and community, and diluted regional biases. A feeling of solidarity and togetherness developed. The railways and the telegraph and postal system helped people to establish contact with one another. People realized that the British rule was responsible for their suffering. This anti-British feeling was a major factor that contributed to the rise of nationalism. The spread of modern education also helped in the rise of nationalist feelings. The British had introduced modern Western education to prepare Indians to work at low posts in the administration. The British also believed that exposure to Western thoughts and ideas would turn Indians into supporters of the British rule in India. Things, however, did not turn out as the British had expected. Exposure to Western ideas made people more conscious of their rights. The British assumed that since educated Indians would be dependent on them for employment, they would always remain loyal to the British. They were impressed by the ideas of freedom and equality popularized by the American and French Revolutions. They began to criticize the government for suppressing these ideas and denying basic human rights to the Indians. The English language acted as a unifying factor because people from different parts of India speaking different languages could now communicate with one another through the common language. This helped the educated Indians to acquire a democratic and the nationalist outlook. The Indian press played an extremely important role in strengthening national consciousness. The newspapers of the period highlighted the anti-Indian policies of the British government and asked the people to unite and work for a common cause. Both the English and the vernacular press became a medium to mobilize public opinion and create a feeling of national bonding. The government tried to curb the growing feeling of nationalism and patriotism by burning newspapers and books. These attempts, however, failed. The works of scholars and writers like Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, Rabindranath Tagore, Subramania Bharati, Paranthedu Harichandra and others were also important in arousing national consciousness. Their nationalist literature in the form of fiction, essays and patriotic poetry injected self-confidence in the masses. The policies of Viceroy Lord Lytton intensified discontent against the British rule. He removed import duties on British goods, which ruined the textile industry of India. He made India pay for the war against Afghanistan. In 1877, when India suffered a famine, a lavish imperial darbar was held in Delhi. A large amount of money was wasted on it. The Vernacular Press Act of 1878 imposed restrictions on vernacular newspapers. The Arms Act of 1878 forbade Indians from possessing arms. Both these acts evoked sharp reactions from all sections of the society. Ilbert Bill controversy. In 1883, Viceroy Lord Ripon's law member Sir Ilbert introduced a bill which later came to known as the Ilbert Bill. It had provisions which gave Indian judges to power to try cases involving Europeans. Immediately, the whole European community started an agitation opposing the bill. These protests forced the government to withdraw the bill. To the Indians, it was a proof that they could never expect equality from the British government.